Hey guys, just Mike here, and welcome to my JMP FC save here on Football Manager Mobile 2016. Hope you guys are keeping well. So guys, before we actually crack into the save, I just want to go through a few things. First of all, thank you guys so much for the support you've been giving me over the last few videos I've been doing. It does really mean so much to me that obviously the channel's growing, and like each day we're just getting bigger and bigger. But I just want to thank you guys so much for the support and the comments and the likes and everything you're doing for me. I really do appreciate it. Secondly, okay, kind of to wash my hands of this a little bit, this save is going to be obviously recorded almost like I'm playing it. However, I'm actually letting the assistant manager choose the team, so I will actually set tactics out and kind of tamper with the tactics throughout the match if we are losing. However, on the actual match day, I'll be letting the assistant manager pick the full team, so I kind of don't get any people going, oh, I'm not getting paid. Hopefully, my reasoning behind this is one, because if you find a winning formula, you very rarely will normally want to stick with it, and you kind of won't change things up a lot. However, if you do kind of leave it to the system manager, they are going to change things up quite a lot. Normally, I find anyway, and they change the team quite regularly. So I'm kind of hoping that, with that in mind, that we will be able to kind of play people more game time and kind of give a fair share, and then also it's not on my head when people are not getting played. Also guys, what I'm actually doing, although the save is about JMP FC, it's more about you guys than anything. So I actually want to see how you all develop and kind of where you go in the game. So what I'm actually going to be aiming to do is, every time I receive a bid for a player, no matter how small or how much you might be key to the team, I actually am going to... This is purely because I want to see where you guys end up at and how your career progresses throughout the game. Although I do want to see how JMP FC actually do and how kind of far we can take it. Although I'm not technically playing the game, I think it kind of is a little bit unfair for me to kind of take all of the glory. So I think it's more about the players anyway. So we are going to be following the players' history and see where you go. So as soon as you leave the club, I'll still be following your progress. I'll put you on the shortlist so I can keep an eye on where you are, how well you've been doing, an update throughout the save. With that all said and done guys, we're actually going to crack in now and have a look at the first team. I actually am going to clear the squad so there's no people shouting already. And I am going to admit already, I am terrible at pronouncing names, so please do not take any offence. I probably will get your name wrong. So we have, I'm just going to change the view as well, because I like this view where it kind of gives you a running list rather than kind of all over the place. So first up we have Jesus Sanchez. He's a 50. Okay, you're all going to be between 15 and 16. The reason I asked for your date of birth was because I didn't know if the game was going to incorporate it this year or not. It hasn't, so I basically just set you all to the youngest age possible. It does fluctuate between 15 and 16. You all were set to 16. However, sometimes for whatever reason, it's kind of unclear to me. You will actually be 15, some will be 16, there might even be some at 17, I'm not sure. But anyway, crack on to this one. So Jesus Sanchez is a 15-year-old Mexican goalkeeper with decent kind of, I know we're only 15, you've got to remember this. We've all got half-star potential to start with and 5-star potential to finish with as well. So loads of room to grow. So please don't be disheartened by any poor stats you might have now. Obviously, what's got to remember, this is kind of a long-term thing. Hopefully with updates as regularly as I can do. So yeah, I mean, communication is key for a goalkeeper, which is good to see that you've got a good starting point there as well. You've got some really good teamwork attributes, as well as leadership, which could be good for you. You're only 15 years old and we've got 11 on your leadership attributes. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, to be fair. If you think about the age and the level that you're playing at, that's actually decent. You've got 8, you've got a good across the board on that left-hand side, so your aerial agility, really good at 8. You've got good handling, reflexes and technique with a 7, and then you're kicking at 6. So you've got obviously loads and loads of time to improve, but I think that's a really good starting point. We'll then move on to Alex Sanderwick. I think that one's correct. Pretty much the opposite. So he's a 15-year-old English goalkeeper. However, he's only got 1 communication. So I normally do like quite a high communication within the goalkeepers. You've got good technique though, so it's 11, so your kind of stats seem to shift onto your technique rather than your communication. Got good teamwork, which again is good to see. Got some decent pace, which I don't know how vital that is for goalkeeper. I suppose it's decent in a rushing out situation. Good stamina and strength as well. Only 5 aerial though, but 8 handling and 8 agility is good things to work on. So again, got to remember guys, we're only 15, so there is that massive potential there, so there's room for improvement on all the attributes, but you know, as I said, a decent base starting point. We'll then move on to the defensive. We've only got 2 goalkeepers unfortunately to say, but it'll be good to see who kind of gets that first choice goalkeeping spot, and then maybe look where the other one possibly goes, or if they are happy to be a second fiddle goalkeeper. Then move on to right back Callum Smith. So he is a 15-year-old Samarisian international. He's got some decent aerial stats there, 14 aerial stat, which is really, really great to see. 18 aggression, which again, I don't never know. I think 18 is a bit too high. I think you kind of want to look to have a slightly lower aggression ratio. You don't want it too low, but you don't want it too high either. Good teamwork, which I don't know that's a trend that's going to be happening with these my club players. Decent pace as well, so that's going to be good. So potentially you've got the ability to walk down that flank as well. As you can see, you've got some positioning in the right wing back and right midfield as well. Good stamina and strength. Good technique, good leadership again for a 15-year-old, which is good. Only one movement though, that's not really the kind of thing you want to be looking at. Hopefully that will improve over time. We've got some okay passing, some decent positioning as well, which is vital for a defender. So yeah, it looks like you could be definitely a decent defender in the future. We'll then move on to Big Josh. So he is a defender who can play right or centre back. I think he was a centre back actually on the thing, but obviously kind of I don't set the positions. I just set those the one that I kind of set at the start, and then kind of just randomly generated. So yeah, I think the 16 teamwork is going to be one that there must have to have one high stat or something. That must be the one that's it's pretty set. I'm not too sure, but it seems to be a trend that's going on right now. But look at that aerostat again, 15 on the aerostat already at the age of 15. That is very, very pleasing to see. Decent pace again, good technique, bad shooting, but obviously you don't really need that as a defender. Okay tackling I suppose, and decent passing. Good decision though making, and decent positioning. But again, it's kind of things to work on throughout the season. But yeah, I see promise in this player. We'll see how he fares. Okay, then we have Abdul Al Momi. I'm sorry. Just if you watch the video, please comment down below how to pronounce your name phonetically, and I'll promise I'll learn it. So he's a left back. He's from Bangladeshi, 15 years old, wing back as well. He's got really good aerial stats, so that's another kind of consistent thing that seems to happen. Kind of happy with the aggression that's dropped in this one. That 16 teamwork as always. Really, really good pace as well as stamina. That's going to be good that if you potentially, as a wing back, if you're bombing forward a lot, that he's got the pace to kind of get past defenders, especially at this level, and the stamina to go with that too. Positioning is good. Again, you kind of like tackling to be a slightly bit higher, kind of in that 10 kind of range, but 7's not a bad starting. Oh god, these names. Okay, then we move on to Dave Azapandi, I think that's correct. He's a 15-year-old Maltese international player. Again, look at this, 18 technique, but that 18 aggression to go with it though. So you can actually play left, but he is actually kind of competent-ish at playing right back as well, so that's good to have. Versatility is always key in any aspect of this game. Okay tackling, kind of supposed okay passing. Decent leadership though he's got there as well. That really high aggression, which I'm never too sure upon, but the 16 pace as well for another wing back. So it's going to be vitally important that throughout this game that the pace is key in these, especially these lower down leagues. So we've got two very pacey left wing backs, so it's going to be tough for the assistant manager to decide who gets the nod ahead against who. But 18 technique will definitely put him in good stead. We then moved on to Chris Thorne, one I can definitely pronounce. He's a 15-year-old, another left back. This time he's a full back though. He's a Welsh international. Decent aerial and technique though, so that's a good starting point. High aggression, decent pace again, stamina good, positioning very, very good. So yeah, not too sure the technique is higher than the tackling. I always think the tackling would be a stat that would kind of automatically put as a high attribute, but I suppose I don't want to put them too high because that way there's no point kind of almost playing the game and developing as a player. But again, really decent. It's going to be very tough. I mean, I wouldn't know. Drop in the comments, guys, who you choose as left back, because it's a really tough decision, this one is. So yeah, obviously I'm really glad we're kind of leaving it to the assistant manager to choose that one. But then move on to Jack Bullock, a limited defender, as a central defender. For some reason as well, he's got that option to play up top as a potentially, I presume, as a target man. So he's got 14 aerial ability, which is really, really good to see. Over that 5 tackling definitely needs improving, and very, very quickly. 16 technique though, good pace, and look at that stamina, 17 stamina at the age of 15, which I suppose, you kind of would think they'd have decent stamina at that age. Good base stats again. Definitely think he's got a lot of potential. That striking option is again another kind of string to his bow to add, which could potentially be used as a striker if you're really struggling. If you know we're struggling for luck, no one's scoring, we've got really bad injuries, he's kind of got another option there to play up front as well. We'll then move on to Christian Valencia, a 15-year-old Belgium international. Again, that aerial stat is really good for a centre-back. Got decent technique, really high aggression, which I kind of wish were a bit lower. Decent leadership though, not too good in tackling, but good pace, strength, which is vital for a defender. So that's a good attribute to have. Decent stamina as well, but yeah, all in all, I mean, I think all these players are looking decent for the future. They've got decent base stats on key attributes they kind of need. So we then move on to Nick Price, a 15-year-old Sam Reason wing-back, a right wing-back should I say. This guy actually looks, yeah, he does actually look pretty decent. He's got 13 aerial stats, 11 technique, obviously that obligatory 16 teamwork, good positioning and leadership for only 15 years old, decent aggression 11. That's kind of the level I like to see. That's a good attribute to have, 11 aggression, decent pace, stamina and strength. So yeah, he probably looks the more all-rounded player. They're trying to get all words out there, but yeah, he again huge potential, especially for a Sam Reason international. We then move on to Oliver Diaper. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering all these names probably today, but I'm really sorry. He's a defender, a central defender. However, can you actually play in that defensive midfield central position as well? Tackling not too good for a defender. Again, you'd like to see that higher, but he's got decent technique and very good aerial attributes. Good positioning, good strength as well. 16 strength. That will definitely keep him in good stead throughout the season, with decent pace and stamina to add as well. Down to the next page, guys. So next we have, oh god, this is the only bad thing that I can't control this very well. I'm not knowing he was. It's very fast and responsive this year. Connor McKinley. I'm presuming that's how you pronounce it. Again, really sorry. So he's a Gibraltar international as well, so it's good to see a fellow Gibraltar on the save. 15 years old, really good aerial stats for a defender. Again, he's kind of got that option to play in defensive midfielder. Good pace, stamina and strength. Good, really good technique. Aggression's a little bit high for my liking, but that tackling again, I just kind of need that one. That's the key attribute that we need to get built up straight away. We then move on to Brian Phillips. He is a 15-year-old Chadian from Chad, international, which is the one that you don't very rarely see in Football Manager, so that'll be interesting to see how his kind of international career takes off, if it does at all. Again, another defender central that can play in defensive midfielder, but that tackling attribute definitely needs to be worked upon. He's got decent technique, good aerial stats, decent pace and good strength, which will keep him in good stead for the season, but really needs to vitally work on that tackling attribute. That 9 aggression though is again about that kind of, you want to look between 9 and 11, I like to see in a player. I mean, I suppose your goal per 2 is about 13, but you don't want to be too much higher, especially in defence when they're flying in with tackles. You could get hot-headed and that could lead to a red card, which you definitely do not want to see. We then move on to Karol Buslowski. I think that's correct. He's a 15-year-old Polish defensive midfield player, deep line playmaker, my favourite role in the game, so I'm glad that somebody else kind of got in there with that kind of position. Really aerial stats is kind of what you need to see from a defensive midfielder, kind of hoping to break the play up between the attack and defence. Good technique, you'd like to see the tackling higher once more. Decent pace, so good strength, which is always nice to see. Got that good amount of kind of aggression in him as well, and he's got a decent amount of creativity, which you kind of want to see from your defensive midfielder, especially when they're a deep line playmaker, kind of player that picks up the ball and kind of, almost sets off the attacks. We then have Nell Cange. I don't know, I'm really sorry. Again, if you are watching the video, I do apologise. Please just drop it in that comment section down below. So he's a 15-year-old box-to-box midfielder from Turkey. Can he play in that midfield central role? However, he has got the ability to play in that defensive midfield role if called upon. Got good aerial attributes as well as technique, which seems to be kind of a standard thing that's going. Not very good tackling, but As a midfield central player, you kind of won't be looking to defend as much as a defensive midfielder. So he's got that decent aggression touch as well. Good creativity. You'd like to see that passing slightly higher though. 6 passing is not kind of the level you kind of want to be starting at. You want to be looking at least about an 8. Good teamwork as always. Good stamina and strength and pace though. So that pace could be vital, especially with his passing being quite low at the start. We're going to move on to myself. So this is me. I am a 15-year-old deep line playmaker, defensive midfield central, playing that one role. I also am from Gibraltar. Yeah, look okay. Nothing special there. I've got good aggression stat, which is good to see. I'd like to be a bit faster. Good stamina there, which is great. Good strength. Technique's decent. Good aerial attributes. So I'd like the tackling and passing to be slightly better. But other than that, I'm fairly happy. Okay, we'll move on to the next player. So this is Rafi. Again, I'm really sorry, he's another defensive midfielder, but he's a ball-winning midfielder. So he's got really high aerial attribute, which is good to see. Good strength as well to go with that kind of aerial attribute. So he'll hopefully be winning a lot of balls in that kind of aerial, kind of long ball punt over the top. He'll hopefully be able to win a lot of the kind of battles there. Good creativity, good tackling as well, decent technique, good leadership and positioning. So yeah, he actually looks like he could be from Singapore as well, which would be interesting to see how his international career blossoms. But yeah, he definitely looks like he could do something in the future with some decent base stats there. We then have Sam Apai. Oh, well, look at that 18 technique for a 15-year-old Ghanaian midfield right winger. Pace as well, with 12 stamina and 11 strength. You would like to see that passing and crossing stat to be definitely higher, along with the creativity. Although the creativity, I suppose, in a way, is decent to start with. Positioning, you'd like to see slightly higher, although it's not massively important as a midfielder. You still need to have the kind of positional awareness of when to go forward and when to go back. But overall, some very good base stats. Then move on to Espian Amaya. He's a 15-year-old Argentine midfield central as well, but again, he has got that option to play as a defensive midfield central as well as an attacking midfield central as well. So he's got really good stamina, which you'd like to see from a box-to-box midfielder, as well as really good pace. Got decent technique as well there. Good positioning, that kind of good aggression stat as well, really good aerial attribute as well. So yeah, he definitely actually looks kind of one of the better all-rounded players, I'd say. Looks like he's kind of got a better kind of style attribute. The only one I'd say I'd like to see it slightly higher would be that passing. However, all that though, again, as I said, he does actually look like he's kind of the player that's kind of most ready from the starting blocks. Next up we have Lovan Balic. He's a 15-year-old Croatian midfield central. He's got the options plate up front as well. He's got very good aerial attribute as well as decent pace. Look at that pace, 17 at this level. Again, that's going to be absolutely vital to him. He's got decent stamina as well as strength. However, you'd like to see that passing and definitely shooting as well as he's going to be a striker. The shooting would definitely need to be a lot higher than that. But the passing, again, 6 isn't great. Got good positioning though and good decision making. Along with that 8 creativity, definitely could cause some problems from some defences if he does play up top. Next player we have is Jonathan Age. He's a 15-year-old attacking midfield right from England. So again, he's got decent pace, which will be good for him to kind of get to that byline. You'd like to see that crossing definitely higher as being an attacking midfield right, especially as an inside forward. You'd like to see the shooting higher as well though, but you'd definitely like to see the crossing definitely as a higher attribute, because although he might be cutting inside, if he has got the option to run down that wing, you'd like to be able to get the cross into the middle to kind of, you know, link up with the strikers. 12 technique though, so that would be definitely high for this level. As long as the kind of dribbling attribute goes alongside that as well, you could definitely become causing some problems for some defenders. Got decent movement as well. 11 stamina is okay, but you'd like to see that strength slightly higher. We then have Keith Moore. So he's the, I think he's the only American we have in the team. 15-year-old midfield right as well. He's an attacking playmaker. So he's got really good stamina, decent pace to go alongside that as well. But other than that, the aerial stat, I don't think you'd use as much as that kind of positioning, but I suppose it's never bad to have a high stat in aerial. But the crossing and dribbling and passing, you'd all like to see definitely higher. It's not the best to start with them kind of attributes, especially in the position he's been playing with. So yeah, he's probably going to find it the hardest, but you know, again, we're only 15, we've got time to develop. Then move on to Yoin Wild. I think that's Yoin, it's not Eon, is it? It's Yoin, definitely Yoin. So he's got 13 aerial attributes, 16 technical, so he's an attacking midfield right as well. He's got really, really good pace, but again, the crossing, dribbling and passing attributes, you definitely need to be higher. Decision making is okay, but yeah, I think he's going to find it really hard to kind of get anything done with such low attributes. I mean, the dribbling one isn't as bad, but the crossing and passing are only 5. It's going to be hard for the Irish international. And then move on to Reece Wilkins. Again, he's another attacking midfield right. He's a winger. He's slightly better. He's got okay crossing and decent dribbling. The passing though could be higher. Got good technique. Movement of only 3 though, but which is kind of weird because he's got 16 pace. So it's almost like he's got the pace, but he doesn't know kind of what to do with it. Again, which he's kind of got time to develop though, so it could be something he learns over time. But other than that, he's okay. He's well rounded. Nothing too good, but you know, he's definitely got the potential there. Then move on to Leon Cortez. He's a 15-year-old winger from Spain and plays on the left-hand side of the midfield. So he's got really good pace, which is good to see. Decent strength. But again, it kind of looks, they all look very similar. Kind of they all work off the same, similar-ish style of base. The 3 attributes, kind of crossing, dribbling, passing, you would like to see higher. But again, guys, we have got to remember we are only 15. We then move on to Isaac Johnson from Ireland. Again, he's another attacking midfield left player. He's a winger. Yeah, again, very, very similar to all the other ones. They all kind of, as I said before, look like they're kind of playing off a similar base. He's got really good pace though, which is always good for a winger to have. But we wanted to work on that crossing. That 8, that's not as bad. And he's got 9 creativity as well. But with that 1 movement, that's definitely something you need to work on in the future. Tate Miller, 15-year-old attacking midfield, left-hand side, inside forward. So with that 7 shooting, that's actually not too bad. He could actually get something done there. So if he's cutting in from that left-hand side, at least he's got something about himself to kind of get the ball to kind of where he needs to and hopefully finish off. He's got 12 pace, which is good, something to work on. 15 strength, which would be good as he's kind of bustling away into that kind of crowded box area to get a shot off. Got decent aggression as well, so you kind of aggression and strength going hand in hand. It's not too overpowering. Salomon Eli, please let me know in the comment section down below. 15-year-old Malaysian attacking midfield central. He's got good aerial attributes, which kind of can be used as well if the ball's played long. Really good strength, which will go kind of key with that aerial attribute there as well. Okay pace. But other than that, I'm not really seeing too much in there. Creativity is good though. It's a good starting point at that 8 as well, and he's got, I suppose, decent dribbling, and he's got, I suppose, it would be a fairly decent shot on him as well. So it's not bad, but definitely needs to grow quickly. We then have Jeffrey Eriksson, a 15-year-old Danish international player. He's an attacking midfielder and can also play up top. However, with that 5 shooting, I don't think will be an option that we're using too much. He's got really good technique as well as good pace and stamina. That aerial attribute just seems to be one that seems to keep coming back again and again. But the passing and shooting is definitely something you'll need to be working on, as well as that dribbling stat of only 2, which is definitely not good to see. Picking up the ball, I don't know how much you'll be able to do with the ball if you can only got a 2 attributed dribbling. But as I keep saying, guys, we've got time. We are only 15. Scotty Adams, a 15-year-old striker from Australia. 7 shooting is the key attribute that you kind of look at straight away as a striker. It's not the only attribute, but it is one of the key ones you look at straight away. And at 7, I don't know if it's going to be able to get the job done. But guys, look at that, 20 pace there. That will definitely be something that can help him in this season as well as in the future. If he can keep that pace, sort of get his stamina slightly higher, he could be a player to not be laughed at in the seasons to come. 18 technique as well. He's got decent movement though, so off the ball he'll be able to kind of get into decent positions, but just kind of worry that when he gets into a decent position he's going to be able to finish it. Only time will tell. Okay, then we move on to 15-year-old Sai Chongzi. I'm really sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. I know you're someone who follows me on Twitter and on my channel for quite some time now, and I probably should have learned to pronounce your name correctly. I hope you have done. Chongzi, I'm not too sure. Please let me know in the comment section down below, as I know you will be commenting. But look at that, so this is definitely, again, we're all started exactly the same. This one looks pretty decent. 8 shooting, not too bad I suppose, not the best but not too bad, but 20 technique with 19 pace, 15 stamina, and slightly higher than I'd like aggression, but you know, it's not too bad. He definitely looks like he could be a handful in that box. You'd like to see that movement slightly higher, but yeah, he definitely looks like he could cause some problems in that final third. Last few players, we've now got a name I don't know if I'm going to be able to pronounce at all, and I do apologise. Myci Cosma, Mr. Cosma. Again, for striker, a 15-year-old Romanian striker, you'd like to see that shooting higher. However, he has got good stamina and he's got very, very good strength, which means as a target man, he'll be able to hold the ball up with that 14 aerial attribute as well. He should be able to get the ball wide and play it into him at a high level. He should be winning them balls and hopefully gathering a few goals for as well. Although his shooting attribute is low, he's still got other means about how to get the ball into the back of the net. Zach Omar, a 15-year-old Somalian international. I think that's Somalian who you chose. I can't quite remember. I'm pretty certain is the one that I kind of debated as I was doing it. Looks quite well rounded. 6 shooting, but again, as a target man, you'd like to see that strength slightly higher. But 14 area attribute is good as well. So as well as 11 technique. So yeah, 13 aggression. That's a good aggression start to have. But yeah, I mean, he's got a decent. Yeah, it looks like he definitely could do a job at this level. Another name that I'm not going to be able to pronounce, Danovsky. I'm presuming you don't pronounce the Z. Danovsky, Maki. No, sorry. Just please, yeah. I'm so sorry, Mr. Danovsky. He's another target man, striker from Poland. Only 5 shooting though, but he's got the decent aerial attributes and the strength to go with it as well. So again, he kind of caused that problem in that final third, and hopefully be able to some goals from the aerial battles. So guys, that does it. There's the rundown of all the players. I hope you're kind of happy with, and I haven't missed anyone or got anything wrong. If I have, please just drop it in the comment section down below. I don't really think I'm going to be changing it because I don't really want to use the editor at this point. But you know, if it's anything too bad, I may do. I'm not too sure. But there we go, guys. That's a rundown of the players. I think we're kind of covered in most aspects fairly well. Goalkeeper's not too good, and out and out there seems to be a lot of defender, midfield centrals that can play defender. But other than that, I think we're good. I think we've got enough players. As I say, I don't know how many of us will stay at this level. I'm not really too sure. A lot of us, I think, will go out because we're not going to get in game time because there's a lot of us in here. So, but again, it's not up to me, guys. It is up to that assistant manager. So please do not, you know, kind of hold anything against me. In the next video, we will be showing the first game of the season. So I'm just going to be playing the friendlies, obviously, just off camera anyway. And we'll join us back in the first game of the season, and we'll run through the tactics and kind of what the system manager's gone for and why I possibly think this system manager has chosen the team he has chosen. And we'll just take it from there, guys. If you have got any suggestions on how you want to see the episodes planned out, or how you want to see them going forward, like 1 game per episode or 2 live games and then just a review, or how many games you want me to play off camera, please just drop it in that comment section down below. But guys, to say that probably does it for this episode. If you have enjoyed it, or you're really looking forward to this series, please don't forget to smash that like button. It just shows me that I am making the right content for you guys, and it's something you want to see going forward. If you haven't subscribed already, do so now. And as always, guys, I will speak to you legends soon.